In today's show, we have another multi-topic episode where first we discuss, should the police access Ring doorbell videos without the owner's consent? And secondly, we discuss, is filming and publicising porch thieves a privacy violation?
And now, the TNT Talk Show, daring to go where other podcasts fear to tread.
Hello, I'm Tony Fasulo and I share the stage with my esteemed friend and colleague Tayo Boya. Tayo, hello my friend once again. I hope you're keeping safe and well.
Look at my hair. What you gonna do, eh?
I don't know how I'm going to answer that one.
Yeah, because I'm having a bad hair day, so don't worry about it.
At least you have hair. Look at me. I've got nothing. What can I say? I'm jealous.
I don't know. There are advantages to it. I don't think I'd ever get lost. Faintest glimmer of light will find you.
Yes, shiny forehead syndrome. Yes, indeed. Anyway, are we going to ask you to say hi to our audience?
Yeah, all right.
Go on then.
He's going to ask me. Well, okay, ask me is what I'm saying. But
Will you
all
say
right.
hi to our audience?
Hello, audience.
Hooray! That is definite progression. 190 shows later. We're getting there. We're getting there. Only another 200 and we might be more positive. Anyway, before we move on with the topics of the show, I want to remind our listeners and watchers of the show to continually keep up with the comments and suggestions that you keep sharing with us. We do take a while occasionally to get to, but we do get to all of them in the end, so please be patient. But we do appreciate all comments and feedback that you provide on whatever platform you are consuming our topics on, be it audio only or video channels. Doesn't matter. Post whatever you want to post and we will get back to you. Right, let's move on with today's topic, and time permitting we'll try and discuss more than one. But the first one is, should the police access Ring doorbell videos without the owner's consent? Now, do you want to kick this topic off, Tayo? Or?
No, I'll let you do that. It's your topic. So.
Well, yes, indeed. Now, obviously, those of you listening out there or watching us are aware of the Ring doorbell. The Ring doorbell's taken off the last few years and it's a phenomenon. Everyone seems to have one and everyone can look at their door and see who's there beforehand. But were people aware that the police actually ask to see the Ring doorbell footage without the owner's consent? Now, should this happen? Because it's our property, we're taking a video on our property, should it be us that get to say whether the police get to view it or not? Not Amazon, who are the owners of Ring.
No, I have some rather complex thoughts on this, because it is at first a simple, straightforward subject, but the more you think about it, the more complex it becomes. First of all, you purchase a product from Amazon. It's not on subscription, so I assume you've purchased it.
Well, there is a subscription. I have one of these little devices, and a part of the service is the subscription, because the video otherwise wouldn't work. The Ring doorbell will work on its own without a subscription. However, it doesn't store the video. So, for instance, if someone rings the doorbell, your phone will alert you because you have an app, and you can see who that person is in real time. You can talk to them in real time. But then, once it's gone, it's gone. That's the service you buy if it's free. You pay once and that's all you get. However, if you subscribe, the video footage is recorded and stored in your personal account, which is stored on Amazon servers. Now, what that gives you, it gives you more flexibility that you can go back and look at missed doorbells. So if someone rang the doorbell, you weren't near your phone, or someone was on your property while you were asleep, you can look back and see all those bits of footage and see that someone was there when perhaps they shouldn't be. So it gives you a little bit more, and because it's stored in the cloud. But what's happening is the police are not going to the customers of the Ring. They're going direct to Amazon and seeing the footage on the cloud. So this is the problem.
So can't you get third party software and upload your videos there? I don't see why you shouldn't. In fact, I don't see why you can't upload your videos directly to a device on your property. Some kind of hardware. Or some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for now? Some hard drive.
Yeah, hard drive or a NAS device, or
What's a NAS? What's a
Well,
NAS?
NAS is a network attached storage. It's like a hard disk that's attached to your home network.
Oh,
Which does
hubs,
the same thing.
modern
Or
hubs,
yeah,
modern
yeah.
routers. They've got a USB port. You can buy a suitable USB and just bung it into there. So you don't actually need it. Why do you need Amazon anyway? I don't know.
You can actually. Amazon's not the only player in town.
Exactly.
Of course not. There are others, and who do exactly what you suggest. They're not as flexible. They're a bit clunkier, not as efficient. You can't then get to the video anywhere near as efficiently as you can with Amazon. And Amazon have just bought the company Ring. They bought them a few years ago now. And the interface is simple, it works, and it's easy to get access to. Plus, you can add other facilities to the Ring setup, so you can have additional cameras in other locations, whether indoor or outdoor, and other alarms and other bells and whistles that you can build upon the Ring doorbell. So it's not the doorbell's almost like your starting point, and you can then add further to it at your own pace, which makes it cheaper. But to store the videos safely, they're stored in the cloud.
Okay. So it sounds to me like I have this mental image of, when I say you, I don't mean you, I'm just you in a general sense, of someone arriving in hell, and the devil is there and goes, What are you doing here? And the person says, well, it was just easier. Okay. It was just so much easier and it's like, yeah, look, just because it's easier doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. So I don't actually, here's the thing, if the police were for some reason looking at my doorbell footage, I don't have a problem with that. Although I can see that some people, there's obviously a privacy issue, and I don't have a problem with it. For example, my front door looks out directly onto a footpath, which is a public area. So in effect, I am, if you like, spying on the public, but you do have to ring my bell. So just ordinary passers-by, there won't be videotaped because they haven't interacted on my property. But someone could press my doorbell, and I suppose those passing by behind them would be momentarily in view. So in that case, I've captured, without their permission, I have captured passers-by, the images of passers-by. That's a iffy situation if it ever comes up in court. I don't know what the law is, but that's kind of iffy. I think my main concern is that it's impudent. I'm paying money, and you're actually making use of my money, not frivolously, but at your will, almost, just casually sort of tampering with your grubby little paws all over my flipping money. You didn't pay me. It's almost like another form of taxation. It's almost like a stealth tax. What do you mean? You didn't hire me. I don't work for the police. What the hell are you doing using my resources to further your causes? It's nothing to do with me. So that is impudent. That's was it bare necked? What's this expression they have? It's
Barefaced cheek.
it's cheeky. Yeah, it's cheek. It's nonsense. What do you mean? And why is Amazon anyway giving the police access to their customers? Supposedly, I would assume. Well, I know lawyers. There'd be somewhere in one of the terms and conditions. I bet there's a clause there that tells you, oh, we can share this with third parties, blah blah blah. I don't know. I've always clicked. Have you read the terms and conditions? They know we don't read the damn thing.
I know.
Who's got 4 weeks to spend reading something? You know.
And it's in legal jargon that doesn't make it easy to even digest.
Even if you read it and you're like, I don't agree with this bit, are they going to change it?
No.
Well, so
they're not going to change it, but you have to agree. So if you choose not to agree, you can't have the service.
Exactly. And it might be like, well, we're going to share with? Who are you going to share with? And if you phone them up, they go, well, probably it's just legalese. And you go, well, okay. And then the next thing you find that I don't even know if you'd even find out. Anyway, by and large, I think it's impudent, irresponsible, and underhanded because they did it very quietly. Whenever the authorities do something underhandedly, you know it's not right. Because if it was right, they wouldn't care who found out.
Well, the thing is, sometimes they have to do it for reasons that are maybe a little bit sensitive. And if they were to go through the process of asking individual people, that would delay things, and maybe the perpetrators who they're trying to apprehend for whatever reason could then subsequently get away. So they're doing it for speed as well. But you're right in what you're saying. It's like we're providing them this additional resource, I suppose, that allows them to see people's doorbell footage just by asking Amazon, and Amazon are giving it to them. I think there's a little bit, there's a little bit now going through about them trying to challenge that, and they can only get it for, in quotes, special cases. So, for instance, if it's serious crime, drug trafficking, murder, things like that. If it's a less trivial crime, then Amazon are allowed to say no.
Actually means that Amazon is now some part of the legal system, which I don't think I agree with anyway.
Well,
now, the thing is this. What you've just done there, and what society is increasingly doing, is finding a reason for wrongdoing. I'm saying it's wrong. It's not the police property. By the way, I don't even know how the police would even know what's on anybody's Ring video unless they've actually looked at it first. Did they ask for permission? Because if there was a crime committed in my area, does that mean that they've looked at my Ring video?
yeah.
Yeah, well, what if that particular day I'd come home drunk, half naked, with all sorts of makeup on my face or something, because I just come from a trans party or something. Very, very unlikely for me. And I didn't really want this getting out for example.
That doesn't mean they're not interested in you. They're interested in.
Well, the thing is that the people they're
crime.
interested in walked past me at the exact time that they need to prove in court that they were in the area.
But if you're okay, then that throws a wobbly on the whole police cameras that they've got on most high streets now.
No, it doesn't. That's fine. Police cameras on high streets, everybody's out. First of all, it's police infrastructure. They've paid for it, so it's their right. Secondly, it's in a public place. So
if you're on a street and naked coming from a trans party.
No, yeah, I'm now in front of my house.
Yeah, but you were naked when you turned up.
Yeah, but I sneaked in. I looked around and there was no one there. I didn't know these other people were coming, and I sneaked around. Yeah, very, very particular and unlikely circumstances. But the fact of the matter is, I just didn't want to put anybody seeing what I was doing. And I didn't know that the police were going to end up, or even people at Amazon are going to end up sort of, oh, look, he's a bit of a wild man, isn't he? I don't want that kind of reputation. I might run for office one day, and then guess what pops up? No, I mean,
I think that is probably, yes, probably been seen, and probably they've seen worse.
yeah,
However,
but we didn't sign up to that, did we?
no, we didn't. But
Why?
what the police would generally do and how it would work is they would go to Amazon and say, look, down, I don't know, the high street, not the high street, but a high street, say, we haven't got any cameras there. At 7 o'clock yesterday evening, we had somebody smashing up all the windows. Can you pull up and share with us any Ring doorbells that you know live down that street? Because it will help us to capture the perpetrators who damaged all the cars in that street. Now, if you're a Ring doorbell owner in that street, and the cars of your friends, luckily you may not have had your car damaged, but most of the cars down the street were damaged, would you be that against the police looking at your footage and capturing whoever it was that caused the crime to your neighbours?
What if this person you're asking came home with a lady who wasn't his wife when his wife wasn't home herself? Now, why would he have pressed the door ring? I don't know, he pressed it by mistake. And then realized they had the keys on him. Okay.
Well, then he's stupid. That's a mistake on his part.
Yes, but it's a mistake that he's made. And now he might get into trouble through ways I can't speculate on because I'm making this up as I go along. And he might, when you come to him and say, we would like to use your door ring camera for XYZ, but go, yeah, no, not that evening. No. I don't want to be involved that evening. And people have a right to privacy.
They
So
do.
what
They
you could
do.
do is this. As a compromise, what you could do is, if you're a Ring customer, and this, you can opt in or opt out. I think maybe opt out. Sorry, opt in. So everyone is out, well, they can opt in. So Amazon going to just fess up and say, look, it's in the unlikely event that the police need video from your Ring camera. Is it okay if they use it? Click here if you consent, and then you click consent because you don't really care. Then that's fine. So that you can opt in, you can opt out. They can however they want to do it, or if it's stated in terms and conditions, you can opt out and say, yeah, no, I don't want to be part of that. But everybody's automatically part of it. And then you can go and say, yeah, actually, I just found out. I was listening to the TNT talk show, and I just found out that my Ring camera. Now I can't tell you why, but because next Friday I've got a little entertainment to do around here, and I said I don't want that to show up, so I'm opting out. That's fine. Is this underhanded business of doing it secretly and no one knows about it, and then it's a creeping Big Brother is watching you? And that's what I don't like about it. It's the underhandedness about it. I don't think I'm really that fussed about whether they access my, like you say, it's people who are just knocking on your door and ringing your doorbell.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't really.
They're external to you anyway.
Yeah, they're
Think
external
about
to
it.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not part of. If I supposing I was, however, part of a clandestine organization, not the one the police are looking for. But just the same, the people who come around to mine are people who are rather not. I could be a politician.
Why would you have a Ring doorbell then?
Well, because I'm a politician from one party, and I'm thinking of switching to another party, and these people from the other party are showing up to my house, and we're going to have a quiet word about it, and see if I can fit in with the new party. That's what
You can turn it off.
So if people ring, well, you know that they're ringing.
You
If
can
you've turned
turn
it
off
off?
the video, yeah.
Well, I can turn off the video. Oh, okay, well, there you go. So I suppose it just boils down to it's underhanded, and if it was above board, I think they would have asked. I think they would have publicized what they were doing, and we'd all know about it, and it'd be fine. But there's something about it that just makes me really uncomfortable with the way they've gone about it. I think this is a case of rather than what they've done, how they've done it is bothering me.
Right. What without? Would you have preferred then they ask permission, or you like this caveat feature that if you register for a Ring device and you've got it attached, you have that caveat in, so you say, well, okay, I want to help the law and order, I want to help the police, they're welcome to see it if they need to,
Yeah,
or
I don't want or
don't
opt
want
out.
them to.
Yeah, so you can opt in. So you can be, if you know, it's like, I believe now in the UK, I believe that when we die now, our body, our parts of our bodies can be used. Am I correct?
It's a bit like the donor card. You know, you got a donor card. You can give parts of your body away to.
Well, I think now they take them anyway. I
I
believe that's the
think
case.
you could be right where
You have to opt out.
out. Yes.
Right. So everybody's opted in, and you have to opt out. This thing could be the same thing, that if you don't say anything, you're opted in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't read the TNCs and what. No. But if you do read the TNCs and you go, what the heck is this? Then you can actually say, okay, I'm going to opt out here.
Do you know what? I actually would be surprised that it isn't in there already.
What isn't?
The opt out. It's just that people haven't enabled it or said, I want to opt out. By the fact of continuing, it means you've accepted that it could be used for law enforcement should they need to.
Yeah, but it could be wrapped into things like the whole package, and there's no way of opting out.
Oh, I see. Rather than individual selection, say, well, actually, I want the Ring device. I want it to work as is, except this one bit.
Precisely.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is a single entity as such.
No,
as that.
because Big Brother, our society is very, very. I would actually, we can probably do another show on this. I would argue that we have reached the 1984 Big Brother is watching your society.
Well, you know that there's more cameras here
in the UK anyway,
capita, than anywhere on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a rule, actually, strangely, that Apple are jumping up and down about, because the UK, for whatever reason, they're bringing in this new law, and it's commonly referred to as the spoofing law. And Apple have been quite vocal about it, because if it's actually activated, that means the UK will have to vet the security that the phone companies bring out. And if they don't like a particular security feature, they can veto it, which then forbids the company from shipping it anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I read this. You were kind enough to put it on shared what is it, area.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it, and that infuriates me, because when the Americans do it, it infuriates me. It's what I call extraterritorial jurisprudence. You are creating laws that affect other countries.
Yeah.
Under what rights have you got to make a law that so if Apple wants to sell their product with that software or kink, whatever it is, in Germany, you were saying that they can't, so the German citizens are not allowed?
I know.
Well, if I was
and you were moaning about the Europeans being too controlling of the Brits. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, at least we have the ability now to do it if we want.
Yeah, but that's no justification.
Well, it is justification, because we have that agility. It was always about agility. Now, if we're misusing, it's like giving somebody a weapon for target practice, which is what you gave him for. It's fine. For going to the mall and to a shopping mall and shooting at people, that's not fine. So it's a misuse of power. We have the power to make it better, and we're making it worse. That's up to this shower that's in Parliament right now. They're horrible people. So it's not Brexit. It's how it's being implemented. But they have the ability. Going back to my point, the hubris. I would love for Apple and Microsoft and all the big wigs,
Google and co.
all the big wigs, just to turn around and say, do you know what? We're not selling to the okay. If that's the way you feel about the UK, you can't have our products anymore. Stop. End of story. Because who are you to tell them what an Apple can do? It's not even a British company. It's even understandable if had it been a British company.
Yeah.
Well, understandable, not really, but more understandable if it had been a British. It's not even a British company, and then you're telling them how they can operate worldwide.
I know, that's
What's
insane.
What's going through their brains? Well, what brains? Okay.
I find that gobsmacking. It was incredible that Britain had that power to veto things like that.
They want the power to veto.
Yeah.
For the whole world, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Why have England, UK got that power and deemed to be that powerful in order to make those choices? So, in a nutshell, if Apple or Google or anyone like that wanted to bring an app out which had additional security, okay, if the UK government didn't like the security that prevented them from, in essence, snooping, they would say, no, we don't want that. And that then prevents that company from releasing that security, in quotes, feature for the rest of its estate, wherever that happens to be around the world, which, as you rightly say, is ludicrous. I'm
even America is not saying that.
I know.
Although America does snoop, it does have its own snooping charter, doesn't it?
Is that the Patriot Act?
No, it's the other one that the man in Russia told us all about.
Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden. That they've written software. They've insisted on software being included that enables them to inspect messages
if they wish.
If they wish, yes.
They have to get a warrant, but they could do it.
I don't think they do, actually.
No?
No.
I thought they had to. They still
NSA,
had to...
isn't it? The NSA.
Yeah.
They've captured everything and they can read what they want because under this terrorism act, whatever they call it. I don't know. I've forgotten the details, but I don't believe that most of the time they might need a warrant for American citizens, perhaps, but I don't think they do for
anyone else. No.
Anyone else.
I mean, talking of snooping, both the British government and the US government and plenty others, of course, they literally are siphoning up every bit of communication that people make around the world, literally, and they are storing it in data centers that they analyze with AI. And it's just an ongoing thing. They literally are sucking it all up. Every bit of data that they can get a hold of in whatever platform you happen to be on, they are sucking that up and putting it through AI to monitor.
I'm not really bothered. I mean, maybe with the AI, it might help. But listen, there are two weak points there. A, we know from the NKVD, I believe they were called. I believe that's what they were called. The SARS police, the Tsar of Russia, his police. After the fall of the Tsar, the revolutionaries found in NKVD files, if that's the right acronym, it's an acronym for the organization, found the complete and total description of the revolutionaries of what they were going to do. They knew. The data was there, but it was buried under a mountain of other useless data.
Really?
And
how do they have that data?
Because they're
1900s. So
they had thoroughly penetrated. They have thoroughly penetrated. What are they called? The Bolsheviks.
The Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks.
Had thoroughly penetrated the Bolsheviks, and the agents had written the reports, but they hadn't been absorbed. It hadn't been brought together and correlated, and
because it was just too much data.
It was just too much. Now, if you're collecting data on everybody, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get exactly the same thing. It's going to be in there. Maybe AI can help. Perhaps that's will be the difference.
Yeah.
However, the second point of failure is not one that we saw in the 1900s in Russia. It's one that we've come up with now. These people are a bunch of idiots. So even if they have the information, it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to do anything useful with it. I'm not bothered because they're morons. They really are. This standard of mine, the objective standard and proof of stupidity. I hope to apply it and win my Nobel Prize finally.
I'm not sure about that. I think you're doing them a bit of a disservice. They're a little
No,
bit
but
more intelligent than you realise.
really,
Yeah,
we
they
we
make some mistakes, but I think some of the mistakes are almost. I know some of them. You think, oh, what is it, Hanlon's razor or Occam's razor? The least, don't blame. No, Hanlon's razor.
Anna's
Don't
razor.
blame on malice what could
Blame it
be
on.
adequately explained by stupidity. I think some of the things that have happened are bordering on just ridiculously stupid, and I think they've been done on purpose for the public to look at those stupid things again. How could they possibly have done this? And they've done it for a reason, to put people off. So it's like a Black Ops type example of leaving a false flag, and people thinking they've been stupid when in reality there was something bigger going on behind the scenes.
Well,
But
I'd
anyway,
like to think that, but my fear is that they think they're being clever, but actually they're just displaying their stupidity. There's nothing going on behind there, just dumb decisions. So I don't think we need anything to worry. I mean, if I was a terrorist, if I was a terrorist, I wouldn't be using data and communications in a way that would expose me to danger, because we all know what they're doing. So why would I? I don't, why? I mean, President, okay, I'm not calling him a terrorist because, he's my main man, President Putin. He doesn't trust phones. He doesn't use computers or laptops. Everything is paper. Everything is paper, because he knows how easy it is to be
hacked
hacked
and spied upon. But
and
paper can be copied.
Well, yes, I know, but obviously you've got methods, paper that changes color if it's open, for example, and things like that. If you open the container, the paper changes colors or whatever. You can do all sorts of things. It's not going to be easy, and
I think that's quite a.
You have, sorry.
That's
no,
quite
that's
top
no. I think it's
very
very
paranoia, really.
Well, if everybody's trying to get you, people have.
Why does he think everyone's trying to get him? He's got a tin hat on. He surely.
Sorry. If everyone's trying to get him, because they've actually said so. It's not a guess. Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, America's defense secretary, has specified that Putin is a block and it would be better for Russia and the world if Putin wasn't in power, and America is going to do its best to support Ukraine in getting rid of Putin and the Putin regime.
That's not the way of doing it, surely.
Yeah, but he said it. He said it. That's the problem. And then you've got Senator Lindsey Graham saying, "Why don't we just nuke?" I mean, okay, yeah, it's crazy. Why don't we just nuke Russia and kill Putin? We should just kill Putin. And that's a senator. So, excuse me, he might be paranoid, but there's a reason. Just because he's paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get him, right? Okay. So back to my point. You wouldn't.
Lindsey Graham didn't actually say that about the US. He said it about Iran.
No, that's a new one. That's what he's saying recently about Iran.
You don't think he would have said it about Russia? Russia got nukes.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people pointed out to him that Russia had more nukes than America, so he might want to think again.
I think maybe that was more for his local audience and saber rattling.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that when people are saying stuff like that, you can't say that Putin wasn't paranoid. No, the point I'm trying to make is that the serious players will not be doing things that expose them to the snooping of the NSA, of our own security and things. Not likely.
I'm not so sure about that.
So in effect, they're spying on their own populations for political opposition. It all boils down to staying in power. That's the way I see it. It's not really about terrorism. It's not really about defending the country. It's really about staying in power. That's the danger. That's we're building ourselves into a tyranny. And that for me is the real and present danger. They're using security as as an excuse. It's not.
Well,
It's not.
it's a fear thing, isn't it? It
Yeah.
says, well, we'll look after you. But we need access to this stuff.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the laws that were enacted in the US after 9/11. The US population gave away so many freedoms to the government, allowed the government to do so many things that they weren't able to do previously, behind the banner of protection. I will protect you. And unfortunately, that's what all governments tend to do to their populations. They coerce them and say, well, to protect you, we need to look at this stuff. So our freedoms are being eroded.
Yep.
But going back to this Ring doorbell without consent, because I want to get onto another topic, which is similar to this, but I still want to get onto it. So this issue about whether the authorities, i.e. the police, could look at video doorbells without owner's consent. Other than this option where you opt out, if it was for a noble reason, would you be inclined to allow them to do it?
Yeah, I don't mind. Like I said, it's no skin off my nose. I'm not bothered. I am not bothered about the fact of it. I'm bothered about the underhanded method by which they have gone about doing getting their access. That's wrong. It's underhanded, and when you do something underhanded, it stinks and it smells of corruption.
Yeah.
And overreach, government overreach.
So they should have done it via a more managed approach in
Discuss
the way
it
that
in
you
Parliament.
discuss.
Let's all know what's going on, so that we know what's going on, and we can complain if we want. I don't know much how good it would do, but at least you've you've shown us the respect, of taking our consideration. I think that's where I'm coming from.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I don't mind them having a look if it's gonna help crime, etc. But they're not going to do it willy nilly. It's got to be for the right reasons. And yes, we should have all had an option to opt out should we not specifically, for whatever reason, not want to do it. But okay, that's that one done for now.
Are they the only? Because we're talking about Ring, which is, they said, an Amazon product. Aren't there other products like that?
There are other companies that do that, but Ring are by far the largest. They've got the biggest market share. They're not the exclusive ones. No, there are other services.
Or
but
maybe those others don't let the police have that kind of access. I don't know.
I think it's because of the flexibility, because the videos are stored in the cloud on Amazon servers. It's all in one place. Whereas for other service providers who aren't like Amazon, they don't have the same reach, so to speak, in terms of the population and the benefit. Because if you look at a small demographic of people, you'll find a lot of the Ring door, there'll be quite a high number of Ring doorbells because of the affordability of them. They're far cheaper than some competitors and as good, if not better. So they produced a product. Amazon's power behind the brand has allowed it to, well, take over effectively, a bit like some of their other products. But
Okay.
because Amazon's a big player, they have a lot of resources at their disposal. They can afford to sell the products at very low amounts, and in essence, they're forcing other security providers either out of that low end market and having to sell higher price products to a different demographic of people, or so the lower end, it's all taken over by Ring, really. Okay, right. On a similar line, another topic wanted to discuss is filming and publicising porch thieves a privacy violation? So this is one that you came up with, and it's quite linked to the one we've just discussed. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yes, I came across a video where someone was saying, "Isn't this ludicrous?" And what the person was saying, well, what the video showed was a video of someone stealing a package off someone's porch in Canada. So apparently it's a rampant problem now in Canada and America, North America. It's a rampant problem that packages are delivered to porches And then people who are driving by or walking by see the package and they just help themselves to the package.
Wow.
They just help themselves to the package, which is unbelievable. I mean, some of the rougher areas in the UK, yes, that could happen. But by and large, if I get a package and Amazon says we delivered your package and it's by your front door, which is open, it's like I said, on this public footpath, I expect to get home and find my package,
Mm.
right? So what people do, well, I think this person had like a Ring doorbell or whatever, and the package thief, for some reason, showed up without a hood, without a mask or anything, very plain to see, took the package and ran off. Now, the homeowner came, saw this, and published it onto TikTok or one of
Facebook or
these
something, yeah.
somewhere.
To identify who it
But
was, yeah.
well, I think the person was actually complaining and saying, "Look at what the country has come to."
Yeah, yeah.
And they got a call from the Montreal police saying that what they had done was illegal, that they are defaming the person who stole the package.
Hold on. He's committed a crime. The guy has committed a crime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a crime in itself. How? So what if I'm now publicising? I can understand if I'm putting something up where there's innocence in the picture, but
Yes.
if there's only one person on who actually committed a crime,
Yes.
came onto my property,
Yes.
took something which wasn't his,
Correct.
and I then put it up online,
Yeah.
why am I at fault?
According to the Montreal police, because you are defaming the person, and it's up to the police to catch criminals, not citizens.
Okay, I can understand that actually. That's actually quite true, because if you had video evidence of the crime being committed, you should only share it with the actual authorities that could deal with that crime. I understand that
Can you
you
explain
don't
why
share it.
to me? Because I don't understand why you say
Yeah,
that.
I can get it
I
because
just ask you to explain. Yeah. Why?
okay, if you're sharing it publicly, you could have mistakenly shared something where he was forced to do it by duress. Let's say he had criminals in the car who were telling to him, go get that, otherwise we'll damage your child, we've got your child here, you go get it. We, as the video watcher, only have one viewpoint, which was the camera and the action being taken. So we have made an assumption then and there that that guy has taken a package from my property.
Let's go step by step.
Okay.
One, there's no assumption. The guy took the package from your property, so there's no assumption.
No, okay, that's the fact, yeah. But we
the
don't know
fact
all the
is-
details behind it.
And that's the second thing is, we're saying this chap took. No, not even saying anything. We're showing the guy taking the package without permission. Now, when they catch him, it's up to the police to delve into the whys, wherefores, how-tos, and so
Yeah,
on
yeah.
and so forth, and the court. And the court could then come to the determination that actually he was acting under duress, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's not defamation.
Well, it could
Defamation has to be. Well, I looked it up, you see, because I thought you might
Okay.
want to come along with this.
be. Yeah.
And it says here. All right, that wasn't the good. That's aha. So I'm going to share, as usual, share the link with you, which I'll do now, so I can share with our audience. Where are we? Where are you actually? Where is WhatsApp? Okay, so there is the link.
And you want me to share this with the audience, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And it says elements of a defamation, what in America they call a lawsuit. There are 5 elements. Number 1, someone made a statement. Number 2, the statement was published. Now, this is where it gets iffy. Number 3, the statement caused you injury. So, if somebody stole the package, I don't know how the statement would have caused them injury, apart from the fact that they were caught.
Caused who injury?
The malefactor, the
Right.
yeah,
Caused him injury.
yes.
Let's say he grabbed it and he tripped on a spike while he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that count as that?
No. The
Okay.
statement must be the one that caused the injury.
Oh, the statement.
The
Oh, I don't
statement
see
that
how
this
that can
person is a
cause.
thief and he stole my.
I, I came on your porch. I don't know. You could say I came on your porch because I knew you'd have a package of food there, and I came. I need to feed my family.
Yeah, but you stole my food because I need to feed my family. Duh.
Hmm.
So, number 4, which is the one that I think just is the be all and end all, the statement has to be false. So if I say you came and stole the package off my front porch, that's just true. There's
Yeah,
no way it's
I
false.
know. I know.
Therefore, I don't see the problem. And then the last
But
one,
we don't know. We don't know what this guy, unless you've got it in front of you, what this guy who posted this video of this porch thief, what did he say? And that's the problem. If he said something when he posted it, then yes. If people who watched it posted, then that's something else. But what has he posted? Because he's the one with the video. And that's the crucial thing. If he just posted it and put, look what's happened here, people, right? That's all he's done. Then there's nothing there that the police force could literally hold him up for, because he's just showing evidence of what he's seen on his porch and everyone can see it. It's like effectively he's opened up his Ring doorbell feed to the internet, which he can do. But if he says something derogatory against the perpetrator without knowing all the facts, then I could understand the defamation element. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
here is I've sent you another
Yeah,
link.
I see it. I see it.
And in that link, you find that it's actually not just one person, but Montreal Police is warning everyone about the posting these videos online. And the quote is, "You cannot post the images yourself because you have to remember in Canada, we have a presumption of innocence, and posting that picture could be a violation of private life."
Right. I mean,
Defamation by legal definition involves damaging someone's good reputation. I don't know what your good reputation is when you're running around taking other people's property.
yeah, that is not good, and that needs to be thought again. That I don't like that myself personally,
The
because
police caution struck many as absurd, as it seemingly protects the privacy of criminals over
yeah,
the rights of victims.
exactly, which is nonsense. I get that, and who came up with that law? I don't get it.
What law?
Well, that if that's a law that you're harassing
Yes.
people, there must be a law, surely. If you are publicising and you are then deemed as being, what was the word you used? What was the word you used? You're defamating somebody by producing that video. Defamation. Yeah, but someone must have come up with that to be a law.
It's not a law. It's not a law. It's an interpretation of the defamation law by the Montreal Police.
So it's their interpretation is incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not law.
No.
It's their interpretation. I'd love to hear a lawyer's point of view who's familiar with the case. If any of our listeners are out there and are aware of this particular issue, anyone know a lawyer who could advise on, were the Montreal police incorrect in actually chastising people who were putting up these porch thief videos? Were they getting confused?
Look, further on in the article, I mean, Western society, as you very well know, I claim that Western society is
Gone to pot.
is dead and buried, basically. It's dead. We're waiting to bury it. Western society. Later on in that same article I've posted, I'll quote, expressing dismay at the current state of affairs, one ex-user referenced not only the recent police quote, but also the BC Supreme Court ruling that drug use in playgrounds was protected under the Constitution, end quote.
What?
How do you say that? What is BC in Canada? Something Columbia? What is BC? I don't know. The BC Supreme Court.
British Columbia.
British Columbia, there we go. Supreme Court ruling that drug use in playgrounds was protected under the Constitution.
What? What? Who makes these laws? I mean,
Well, the Supreme Court.
are they on drugs themselves? I
Do
mean,
they,
I
do
don't
they visit
get it.
playgrounds often?
Wow. I'm a bit gobsmacked by that. And these are actual Canadian laws. If someone could come and share as to why that is a good thing, maybe I'm one of the numpties on our show. I don't quite get it. But to me, that doesn't make any sense at all. How could you protect somebody?
I'd like to hear the arguments. I'd like to hear what in the Constitution makes it a protected act in their Constitution. Why is a playground different from anywhere else? That public ingestion of drugs, in fact, not just ingestion, just
Taking them.
what is it called? Possession of them is illegal, whether you're using them or not. So it doesn't matter where you have them. You could have them in your car, which is private property. It's still illegal. You could have them at home. That's illegal.
Yeah.
So a public space, it's definitely illegal.
Yeah. I don't.
So how can it, why is the playground suddenly
protected?
Protected? How is it
What?
protected? I wouldn't have thought there was anywhere where it was protected. Maybe a hospital, I suppose, if it were prescribed. But if it's prescribed, it's not illegal. It's not a drug.
No.
So
I don't know. I'm gobsmacked.
No,
I'm
so
gobsmacked.
going back to our discussion, then
Yeah.
you should understand that I'm gobsmacked about this seemingly ridiculous, absolutely foolish idea that you can defame someone because it has a presumption of innocence. The presumption of innocence is not traduced by publishing, to me, is not traduced by publishing the video. Because when he goes to court, he still has to be treated as presumption of innocence, as presumably innocent. You don't go to court and say, "Oh, we've got a video. There's no need for a trial." What's your plea? You still ask the at that stage the accused.
Yeah.
You still ask him, "Are you pleading guilty or innocent?" And if it says innocent, then the accused has a trial.
Yeah.
And then those things that you brought up, those situations you brought up, that he was coerced into doing it, or he got the wrong house. He thought it was house number 53, it was house number 35.
Yeah.
Something like that, and then he can actually prove it.
Could he not be harassed and he was innocent because of that reason, say? So you publicise the film, not saying you yourself, but if somebody
Yes, I know what you
did,
mean. Yes.
publicise the film, and that individual then gets harassed and lambasted, even potentially harmed, when they were innocent. I'll give you an example of someone mistakenly accused of being a paedophile. So, yeah,
that's terrible,
think
yeah.
about that, right? Say someone was caught on a porch camera, just a small part of it, talking to a child, and that's all it was. But somebody caught it on a camera and thought, "Oh, look at this, there's a pedo in our environment," and shared it. So the camera shows him, that an older gentleman, talking to a child, and people being people on social media could be negative and go, "Oh, I know who that is. He's a, pervert. He's a, I didn't know this, blah, 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 blah," and it could go off when the guy was totally innocent. So I can get it in that context where it's not slam dunk evidence where someone is, like in the example of the porch thief, he's come onto your property, you've got something there that they're caught actually seen picking up and then going away with. That is quite slam dunk. There's no real ambiguity there. Whereas if it was somebody accused just talking and people misconstruing the video, then I can see that there's potential harm there. It's happened on misaccusations where people have been accused. I think you've even shared it with me, where a young man was accused of rape.
Oh, yes.
And the girl had gone to court or gone to the police accusing this young man. And while he was being investigated, he lost his scholarship.
Yeah.
He lost all his place he was living in. He had a job. He lost that too. And the girl was lying. And they'd been caught on some cameras together. But then there was other footage that was later presented, which showed that what she'd said was fabricated. But because the videos had been publicised beforehand, and she'd made these accusations, his life was harassed. He'd been threatened. He'd been physically attacked, and he was innocent. So I get it in those circumstances.
So actually, I have to jump in there. It wasn't because of the videos that he was harassed. It was because of the accusation itself. This was at the height of the Me Too thing.
Yeah.
And this is when they said, believe all women. So video or no video, the mere fact that a woman said so means that it's true, which is it's one of these like stupid things that you just can't believe that, and adults would fall for that. Believe all women. So it wasn't the fact of the video. And when I was going to jump in before, but I let it go. When you said somebody comes onto the porch, takes the package and goes away. No, if you watch the video, he wasn't going away. He was skulking away. he had it, and he was like a cartoon character.
Right. To actually see that he looked guilty.
All the body language was guilty as heck. And he was scarpering, okay? He was legging it. He was running away. So it wasn't a cool, calm, oh, yeah, this is number 35. Here's my friend's package. No.
So that's a slam dunk, in those cases.
So I have no idea what this chap is, the police officer was talking about, or the police were talking about. Lieutenant Benoit. I have no idea what he was talking about. This is...
Do any of these laws or whatever ever get reviewed? I often wonder. Because I don't think they do they? Because
this goes back to what you were saying earlier, that we might think that these people are being stupid, but there might be some underhanded reason why they're doing it. Now, I can't for the life of me see why they're doing it, but you see, again, it's so stupid that I can't believe it's stupidity. I am open to an explanation, because I would love to be able to go, oh, thank goodness the human race hasn't deteriorated that far.
Yeah.
My fear is that they really are this dumb, but I really find it hard to believe they're that stupid. There's something wrong, but I can't tell you what. I mean, our entire society now our entire Western society is that way, with our men coming women rubbish and all that sort of thing. And you just go, it's so obviously not true. And these people, this fat shaming thing, when they say you're shave, first of all, I don't think anybody's saying we're shaming you when you say it's a good idea to lose weight. It's good for your good for your health. It's bad for your heart. It's objectively, if you're at a certain weight, you're going to die earlier than other people.
Yeah.
Especially statistically, if you take maybe individual cases, okay, there could be the edge case, but by and large, the heavier you are over a certain body mass, it's not healthy. So how is that fat shaming? I don't understand. And then people go around and say that's fat shaming, it's what's the new expression? This Liz or whatever her name is, when she says, I don't know. There's something that's very positive.
Feel good in your body.
Feel good in your something.
There's nothing wrong with that. But you've got to understand, you still feel good in you no matter what you look like. That's fine, and you should. But you don't promote it if you know it's unhealthy. That's the difference, because it doesn't matter if you're, as you said, if you're well over your body mass, it's unhealthy because your organs are designed to look after a physical body of a certain size. When you eat too much, that grows. The organs themselves don't grow. So it's like you getting a 1 litre car and putting a massive trailer on the back and expect it to pull it. It just won't happen. It will do it for a bit, but after a while it will pack up because it cannot deal with the excess weight. So yes, feel good in your skin so you're confident as an individual. I get that. That's admirable. But don't use it as look at me, I'm great in, as being fat. that's not good either, because being overweight, unfortunately, is not healthy.
Yeah, well, I know that I'm overweight. No, no, I just think, fat shaming. I say, look, madam, this isn't fat shaming. What you're talking about is not fat shaming. This is fat shaming. You see this hamburger, you can have it if you can catch me. Come on, that is fat shaming. So you better, distinguish, learn, understand.
Oh dear. Anyway, we are at the top of the hour. So do you want to summarize on this topic? So is filming and publicizing porch thieves a privacy violation?
Obviously not. In my opinion, it's so obviously not that I can't understand that I even have to say it. And why do we even have to? Why are we even having this discussion?
Well, because people believe that it is, and clearly in some parts of the world they believe that it is. I don't know what it is over here in the UK. I'm hopeful that that isn't the case, but you never know. I have to look more into it, whether it is actually illegal here. But clearly in Canada it is. So, but hey, there you go. Right. Unfortunately, we have reached the end of the show for another week.